Man, politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
It's a simple framework about perspective versus perception. Mm-hmm. And we may have mentioned this actually in our previous conversation, Stephen. Perception is what you believe to be true about the world around you. Perspective is what other people believe to be true about the world around them. So as I sit here looking at you, this is my perception. My perception is that I'm sitting in the center seat and you're sitting outside of me and everything else is built around me at the center. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what your perception is? The same thing. I am across the table from you, you're at the center, and everything in this room is built around you. Mm-hmm. So our perceptions are never going to be the same. So the only way that I can find common ground with you is to stop thinking about what's happening around me from my perception and start thinking from your perspective. Because then I get my perception plus your perception combined. I get twice as much information to think through this specific situation.
Can you train that? Can you train
Absolutely.
someone to have both points of view?
Absolutely. So here's how I mentioned that awareness is the first step, right? Really, we have a 3-step process at CIA that we use when we teach spy skills to future spies, because that's all CIA is. CIA is a giant training engine that's constantly creating new spies. And then spies just go out and spy. But what CIA really does is train spies who then steal secrets and combine and compile those secrets to share with decision makers on the Hill, right? CIA's system of teaching is a system where you educate first, you exercise second, and then you experience third. Remember that flywheel. Mm-hmm. So you educate, that's your information. You exercise, that's where you turn information into knowledge. And then you experience, and that's where you actually go out and test the knowledge to see if the knowledge is still applicable in the world that you live in today. So those are the 3 steps. So whenever you're trying to get anyone to break a barrier, whenever you're trying to get anyone to transform, all you have to do is educate them, help them to exercise, which means practice what they learned in a controlled space, and then kick them out the door to go do it for themselves. It's like kicking a bird out of the nest.
So can you make this very real for me? Because I want to be someone that can walk through the world and appreciate my perception of a situation, but also the other person's perspective. So if we just put this in the context of me here as a podcast host, how would I be able to implement this to become a better podcast host? Like understand the other person's perspective and the way that you're seeing the world.
Absolutely. So we had a whole conversation before the cameras turned on.
Yeah.
Right? Can you tell me 5 things that you remember about me that I shared during the time before the cameras turned on?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. You want me to say them? Because
yeah,
we're talking
absolutely.
About...
It's private stuff, but tell me.
Okay. We're talking about your relationship, things you're going through at home. You said that in the last couple of days, everything's changed because of the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. We talked about you used to live in an RV for a while, and you've just recently moved across America to a new place. You mentioned your kids as well.
Give me specifics.
Oh God. You said that you used to live in the RV with your kids, and they're varying ages. I think one of them's, did you say 3 years old?
Close.
One of them was 3 years old or something.
5 and 1 when we lived in the RV.
Shit, yeah, 5 and
it's
1.
Okay. You did great, right? Mm-hmm. Those things that you recalled, mm-hmm. you recalled those from what's known as your paleomammalian brain, the back part of your brain, passive learning part of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Because naturally, when you're untrained to think like a spy, you rely on passive knowledge. You rely on passive observation to create prefrontal cortex knowledge. All a spy does is when they talk to you, they turn on. They turn on the prefrontal part right away, and they start paying attention to all the details right away. Because the way that you gain someone else's perspective.
The man is cooking. I'm sorry, the clip is called Perspective or Perception versus Perspective. And when he says they turn on, you know what he's saying? They're present. You know how many people diet present in relationships? Okay, maybe that's the wrong terminology. I'm going to use Jill Monroe's terminology. She said it at the end of her show today. What'd she say? You get comfortable. When you get comfortable. A lot of times when people get comfortable, they turn off presence. Or presence is not at full capacity. Let's be honest. First off, I'm going to go back to this. Your self-presence is low a lot of times. A lot of the times your self-presence is low. And you do that on purpose because you know there's aspects of yourself that you don't like, that does things that you will judge yourself over later. So you try to ignore that when you're like that. You understand? You've seen it. Man, I hate when I get like that. What? You mean you've been like that before? I mean, yeah, but somebody got to do something. You see what I'm saying? Somebody got to trigger me, and then... But so that would be you then. You are that person. Nah, I'm not really like that. The whole perception of self is off. Right? The blame is external, even though the flame comes from inside. Right? What is Zoe trying to do here? I'm trying to get us to show up in relationships differently. Right? A person can't do this for you. You have to do it for self. Just like the old anthropologists had to stop being racist in order to make anthropology a real part of academia, a real credible science, right? We've got to do that when we get into relationships. Intimate relational relativism. Your partner don't come from the same background you come from. Even if you guys are from the same city. Even if you guys are from the same state, right? Same country. Listen, if you know anything about Los Angeles, man, Los Angeles is so diverse. The Valley is way different than Compton. Pasadena, way different than Inglewood. Like, yes, they're black folk and sprinkled and smattered everywhere, but every city is different. You understand? Got its own little traditions and cultures, and you feel what I'm saying? So you can't go in thinking, I'm from the Palisades. I'm way better than all of this. You can't come in like the old anthropologists did. You have to come in with this respect for where your partner comes from. And guess what? Your knowledge of where they come from will be gradual in the relational process because you're building a connection, right? Here's an example of IRR, intimate relational relativism. Instead of my family shows love by constant contact, and because you don't, you're cold, right? IRR sounds like, I notice you need more solo time. Can you share how closeness was expressed in your upbringing? Let's design a rhythm that honors both of our histories. What? Why it matters. Psychological insight. This will reduce projection and confirmation bias, the twin engines of relational conflict. Your clinical insight on this. It will align, or this clinical insight, it aligns with attachment-based therapies that emphasize curiosity over judgment. And then your psychological insight extends cultural relativism from societies to the microculture of a dyad. A dyad is two people, and two people are a microculture. And one of the 4 branches of anthropology is cultural anthropology. Yes, we could look at the macro, and then we look at the micro, which is the dyad, us two. And then the spiritual insight. It mirrors non-duality, right? And non-dual awareness by losing the ego's demand that the other conform to one's personal reality tunnel. In short, intimate relational relativism treats a relationship as a living ethnography, right? It invites partners to become anthropologists of one another's inner world, observing, contextualizing, and co-creating rather than missionaries out to convert. How many of you got have been dating a relationship missionary? They come to your heart. Hey, have you heard about the good news? Wait a minute. Hold on. You a relational missionary. You trying to convert me to your way. Ladies, I know you've experienced it. Well, if I'm going to pay for all the bills and I'm going to do all, you have to convert. That's a relational missionary. Oh, man, we got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Theo,
What?
this is fire.
Yes, I love it. This is good. This is good.
Yes.
So talk to me. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say on this other than, something that I've experienced in terms of, like, perspective, and you've actually observed me do this, and you called me out on it once, I remember, was, like, over-explaining my perspective to someone. Mm-hmm. And I know you always talk about, like, the unwilling ear, but I think a big part of, like, understanding one another's perspective, or at least seeking to understand instead of trying to make sure that you're understood, is really just resolving that wound of needing to be seen and, more importantly, needing to be felt. Mm-hmm. And so in the process of trying to do that, you're actually devaluing your perspective. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of it is just like it's just a byproduct of that inner child wound.
I see where you're going with this. You're cooking. But I know you've dated a relational missionary, somebody trying to convert you to their way. I know it.
A couple. It ain't work. You know me, I'm Taurus. I ain't playing that. I'm like, do what? With who? About what? No, thank you. No, thank you. I would say that the relational missionary, to me, is characteristic of the anxious, preoccupied partner, typically, because you're basically selling your worth, selling your religion, selling your... I would say you're really selling your persona as your religion. Like that's you're a missionary to your persona.
Keep going. We're looking for converts.
Right.
Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, basically, I think even a secure person would take that and kind of say, I'm not sure if I want to. I'm not sure if I want to go down that road, for the simple fact that if your persona is your God, is your religion, whatever the case, then you probably expect me to worship it too, right? It's not happening.
It's not happening.
I'm not doing it.
But
I'm not doing it. And
but in a normal sense, right? Like in a normal basic relational exchange, has it been difficult to understand the perspectives of others? I mean, I'm saying just your experience. Is it difficult to understand where they're coming from, or is it relatively easy for you?
No, it's easy for me to understand. I just might not agree. And then, like, I get into the over-explaining. But yeah, go ahead. Well, go ahead.
No, but do you think men want agreement more than anything else? Like, if I'm telling you something, I'm not telling you that just to be telling you. I'm telling you for you to accept it and roll with it the way I see it.
I think that is true for a lot of men. I mean, I noticed that the more, how do I say this? Like, the men who tend to not really have, like, a fully formed, like,
sense of
what
self?
would the word be? Like, they're not fully formed sense of self. They're not really, like, identified in terms of understanding the sides of themselves, so to speak. They're probably going to push down harder for you to comply because they want you to basically legitimize what it is that they see to be the truth because they don't really believe it themselves. They need you to affirm it, right? Because I hate to say it, like, what is my affirmation going to do for you?
What?
Nothing.
Atala, stay on the line. I got questions for you.
Okay.
Nah, hell nah. Hell nah. I got questions. You don't get to come in here and act like this. When we come forward, we going back to Houston, Texas. I don't appreciate it.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte. Let's preserve Black land stories before they're lost forever. I want to personally invite you to be a part of something historic. As journalist in residence for the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, I've joined forces with powerhouse attorney and social justice champion George Fothery, the man who helped make history by delivering justice to the Bruce family in Manhattan Beach, securing the first known return of land unjustly taken from Black owners by a local government. That victory was monumental, but it was just the beginning. For generations, Black families have acquired land through grit, faith, and determination, only to lose it through violence, legal loopholes, forced sales, and systematic racism. What's been taken goes far beyond dirt and deeds. It's the erasure of wealth, identity, and legacy. That's why we've launched the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, a national effort to collect, protect, and preserve the stories of Black land lost before they're buried, forgotten, or erased altogether. Because there's power in telling Black stories, there is resistance in remembering, and there's justice in being seen and heard. This is where you come in. We're inviting you to be a part of this historic Black narrative archive. If you or someone you know has experienced land loss, displacement, or forced property sales, your story deserves to be heard and remembered. Your story belongs in this archive. Your truth matters not just to your family, but to our collective future. Visit blacklandlost.org today. Fill out our simple intake form and add your voice to the National Archive of Remembrance, Resilience, and Reckoning. Let's make these stories live on, not in whispers, but on the record. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
You gather here with me, not merely as spectators of ideas, but as companions in the mystery of the psyche. When I speak of the inner child, I do not refer to a sentimental image painted by the modern age to soothe itself with nostalgia, but to a living reality that still breathes within you, often buried under the rubble of years of adaptation. Fear and masks the child within is not gone. It is forgotten, repressed, exiled into the shadows of your soul. And yet it remains alive, crying in silence. Every empath, every one of you who feels too much, who absorbs the pain of others as though it were your own, is still carrying this forgotten child. It is not merely a metaphor, it is an archetype, a figure that belongs both to your personal unconscious and to the collective depths of humanity itself. When we speak of empathy, we often imagine a gift of compassion, of sensitivity, of a heightened capacity to resonate with the sorrows and joys of another. But rarely do we pause to ask why such sensitivity arises and why it burns so deeply into the empath's heart that it becomes both blessing and curse. I tell you now, empathy often begins not with divine generosity, but with a wound. The empath is born in the crucible of unmet love, of unspoken needs, of the child who once stood trembling in the presence of forces too great to endure. In order to survive, that child learned to attune to the moods of others, to anticipate the unspoken dangers in the room, to absorb the storm before it broke. Thus the empath was not merely gifted, but forged, hammered by the fires of necessity. This child within you is not simply a memory, it is an autonomous figure, what I called a complex. It carries...
Man, come on, Carl Jung. You didn't have to expose everything. Like that clip was called The Forgotten Inner Child. Carl Jung. The perception. I want to be understood. I want you to understand the mindset of that inner child. Sure, I'm going to show up and perform and you know, do whatever it is that I can do to keep you interested in the pursuit of discovering that inner child in me. I know it's here. Did you hear what he said? The child was gifted through pain. It was born, his empathetic ability, born from a wound. Can you imagine being with someone who has no interest in trying to understand that perspective, where you're coming? They wouldn't even know how to handle you. Intimate, relational relativism. Where does this man or this woman I love come from? Where do they come from? Or better stated, how did they get here, and what did they have to come through in order to get here? And this is a bidirectional questioning. This is why we don't understand each other. This is why we bottom line things down to what have you done for me lately? Where's Janet Jackson? Where is Janet? What have you done for me lately? It is bottom line to doing. Do you see? This is why I love Jashana Johnson, because she broke the internet when she said that to me on this show. When she said, hey, those love languages, that's born out of something. It might be born out of insecure attachment. You see? Right? We got to come into these relationships from an objective standpoint. But we don't. We come in from a subjective standpoint. What are you going to do to quiet down these wounds? And anything that doesn't relate to that appears to be incompatible. we not gonna make it. Listen, when I come forward, I'm going back to my niece. We're gonna see if she can hit these questions out of the park. This is our home run derby. Let's see if the cleanup hitter can knock these questions out of the park.
It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is highlighting progress in closing a $1 billion budget gap.
Some people said it couldn't be done, but I am so glad to stand here and say that we have proved the naysayers wrong.
After submitting her spending plan, the city council revised it, cutting expected layoffs to 600 and ultimately saving more than 1,000 city jobs that were originally planned to be cut. Black Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says she wants the city to host the 2031 Super Bowl. Speaking at the State of the District Conference, she pointed to D.C. hosting the 2027 NFL Draft and the new Commander Stadium opening in 2030, arguing sports investments will boost the city's economy. And the subreddit for Black singer David is locked after fans accused him of moderating it and deleting critical posts. The singer is under investigation after a missing 15-year-old girl's remains were found in his car. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready? Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Yo, it's So Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? You may be able to reduce your risk by managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure, being physically active, eating healthy, and exercising your mind. To learn more about AD, the importance of early diagnosis and intervention, and a potential treatment option, visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds. Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hey, I am D.L. Hughley, host of the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show, heard weekdays from 2 to 4, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. I promise to make you think a little, but laugh a whole lot more. So tune in to the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show, 2 to 4, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
The one I love.
they know the one I love.
What I really believe is that if you're really only able to look at yourself in this moment, you have to actually take in the idea that you're enough first, because otherwise you're going to always be moving from a place of lack and fixing.
Tell me what you mean when you say that to really accept that you are enough.
Right.
As in...
Okay, so for instance, there's many people that feel guilty about something, right? If you actually go to your heart, you can understand at a true level why you could have done something like that. Everyone can. But what causes our pain is trying to get society to understand why we did something. But the collective society isn't at a consciousness where they've forgiven themselves for anything. So there's a lot of judgment you'll look at in yourself if you look at yourself through society's eyes.
Come on, Kyle Cease. Listen, I'm listening to these clips as you hear them. I'm hearing them for the first time. I just feel vindicated. I feel good. They saying the same thing I've been saying. And I love it. Kyle Cease is always cooking with the rarest grease, man. We need Kyle in the studio. Andy? I'm going to leave that up to Andy. I think Andy can make some power moves, some phone calls. We need Kyle Cease to come to the VOR and drop some jewels. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we are bringing Sister Precious back in here. Precious McGill is coming back, and she's going to be cooking. I got a topic lined up for her as well. It's going to be good. Now, I got my niece on the phone. And she's got this is her home run derby. Let's see how she fields these questions. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes. Bring it on. Let's go.
Okay, if language maps experience but never is experience, what distortions of love do your words smuggle in each time you say I love you? What distortions of love get smuggled in each time you say I love you?
Distortions of love? I would say expected love. Because with every I love you is a hidden expectation.
Ooh, okay. Okay, you got good contact on that. If language maps experience, but never is experience, the language isn't experience. What distortions of love do your words smuggle in each time you say I love you? And you said expectations. Wow.
Because experience builds expectation. Right? Like, I think, let me say this. The attachment to experience is what builds expectation. Kind of like what we talked about previously this week.
Expectations, outcomes. Are we...
The whole thing? The whole kid and caboodle, yeah.
Oh, my God. Are we relationship CEOs? Are we legally bound to protect our emotional bottom line?
I look at us as like relationship startup owners. Like, we have little startup companies that are not fully formed, don't have an HR department,
relationship
no real
startups
payroll.
is crazy.
Because let me tell you, I have worked for startups, and one thing that I can say about people who are entrepreneurs of such, sometimes the vision is so grand that the practicality can't really meet it. And I think sometimes our relationships function in the same way.
Wow.
Practicality can't catch up.
Don't worry. I got more. This is right here. You ready? Right here. This question right here?
Yes.
When you claim to know your partner, do you describe them or only your neural model of them?
This might be a hot take. I think that when people talk about knowing their partner, they're really talking about knowing their patterns and their actions. Like, they know what they do, but they don't really know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, so it would be the neural pathways that have basically picked up patterns from watching someone else's actions. How I would describe that.
So I don't know you, but I know your movement. I know how you move.
Yeah. I know your predictability, and your predictability is safe. I don't want to really focus on the areas that really are you, because that part is unconscious, a little dangerous, and more importantly, it's a mirror to me.
Nah, I'm not satisfied. How might how might your childhood attachment injuries function as an unacknowledged editor of the facts you call the truth? Oh.
Well, it's like you and I talked about earlier today. Like, if I'm fielding all of my experiences or my reactions, my understandings through my wounds, then there you go. So if I have a wound, for example, that says I'm not enough, which I do and I'm still working on, then every experience that may appear to be a rejection is going to be filtered through my feeling of not being enough. When in reality, people have a right to reject you, and it's more likely that they will if you're functioning out of that space of I'm not enough, because you're trying to grab that enoughness from them.
Nah.
Keep them coming. Let's go. Keep them coming. I came for violence tonight. I didn't came for violence. Come on.
Nah.
Come on.
Can an incomplete truth nourish intimacy, or does every omission metabolize into future betrayal?
It can if you're not attached to an outcome.
Now, who
like,
ain't
I don't
attached?
need to know though. I don't. But like for real, and I know that's hard to like conceptualize. But I'm saying, like, if we're talking about a specific situation, right? Let's say, I don't know. Let's say there's some issues with money or something like that, and you have a plan or a budget or something like that you want to put place together, like as a couple, right? Like, you might not know every single penny and where your spouse in it, but you know, you're more so focused on, like, you know, kind of repairing things, right? So that kind of takes center stage. But I think anytime we make an outcome like more important than like the actual lesson itself, then you're more likely to have like repeated kind of flare-ups of tensions, because you're more focused on that outcome. And that's what you're upset about. You're mad that that hasn't come to fruition yet.
I love this. I love this perspective. Do you think relationship can survive with expanded perspectivity? Or do you think keep it to yourself and keep doing what I like is a better, you know, like a better operating system for relationships? What do you think?
I think doing what someone likes is like actively putting bugs in your system. Like, if you had a computer system and you put bugs in it, like, that's what that would look like, because people are fickle. What we like changes all the time. And half of the time, we're not really honest about what we like for fear of judgment, fear of retribution, fear of abandonment, fear of a lot of things, right? So I think to base relationships or outcomes or things like that on what you like is honestly kind of childish. Like, would be a childish take, right?
But Andy and Adela, am I right or wrong? Ain't that why people get into a relationship, to get more of what they like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like marriage. I like kids. I like money. I like love. I like, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, it's kind of like you said, when you're talking about describing your partner or whatever, I know you. It's like, what do you know exactly? You know what I do. You know how that makes you feel. Ergo, you feel safe, and therefore that is what you define as what you like.
Wait.
But you have yet to like experience them.
Are you saying definitively here tonight on The Voice of Reason live on KBLA Talk 1580, are you saying it is virtually impossible to know your partner?
I wouldn't say that it's impossible.
And if you don't know them, what do you know?
I would say the extent to which you know yourself is how well you know your partner. Like when you think about people who have been together for a really long time and they've actually like made it work, it's
They
to the
sync
point where they
up.
can almost finish each other's, like they almost finish each other's sentences. Their
Yes,
movements and things
yes.
like that are the same. And I
Yes.
think part of that is because it's like a repetition that I think kind of helps like glue you together, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
But are synced behaviors the same as synced psyches? Ooh.
At some extent, yes. That doesn't mean that they have to be in sync all the way around. I think you can be in sync in certain areas. I believe that when we're not in, or when we find an area where we're not in sync, there starts the descent of like, oh, we're not in sync anymore. I don't feel the same. Like we let that one thing be like the whole relationship.
Nah, hold tight. I ain't satisfied. Hold tight, Attila. When we come forward, we going back. She's fielding these questions, but I don't know if I'm feeling her fielding of the questions.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes. Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580. Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Hello, KBLA delegation. Tavis Smiley here. On Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech becomes the epicenter of ideas that matter. The Left Coast Forum is bringing together voices that challenge, inspire, and illuminate, with keynote presentations from people like noted economist Richard Wolff, the man who breaks down capitalism in ways that make sense to working folk like you and me, and Dr. Cornel West will be there, the brilliant philosopher and activist who never stops fighting for justice and speaking truth to power and to the powerless, for that matter. So this isn't just another conference. This is where ideas get tested, where the conversations that shape our future begin. Multiple plenary sessions, dynamic speakers, real talk about the issues that impact our communities, and then some good food and a live band. Saturday, October 25th, LA Trade Tech, Left Coast Forum. The event is free and open to the public, but you must register at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can also peep the plenary topics. The future belongs to those who show up and engage. So don't just think about change, be part of the conversation that creates it. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters, your presence matters. We'll see you there.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Brown-eyed girl, come walk with me. Brown-eyed girl, come talk with me. I wanna do all the things in love a man should
Today I want to talk about the meaning of words, how we define them, and how they, almost as revenge, define us. The English language is a magnificent sponge. I love the English language. I'm glad that I speak it. But for all that, it has a lot of holes. In Greek, there's a word, locucism, which is the hunger for disaster. You know, when you see a thunderstorm on the horizon, and you just find yourself rooting for the storm. In Mandarin, they have a word yu yi, I'm not pronouncing it correctly, which means the longing to feel intensely again, the way you did when you were a kid. In Polish, they have a word juska, which is the kind of hypothetical conversation that you compulsively play out in your head. And finally, in German, of course, in German, they have a word called Zielschmerz, which is the dread of getting what you want. Of finally fulfilling a lifelong dream. I'm German myself, so I know exactly what that feels like.
Man, I wanted to hear the rest of that. I wish we would have played him a little earlier. John Koenig, that's who that is. But my niece is on the line, and she is fielding these relational questions. She's a millennial. Boy, they in trouble. Andy done gave her the organ. She's answering these questions, though. She's knocking them out. She's got to be able to answer these questions. With the dudes I'm going to have to holler at, who trying to holler at her, I'm going to have to. Okay, here we go. Attila, are you ready?
I am.
Real quick, rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
How does unresolved trauma camouflage itself as chemistry, seducing you towards familiar relational pain loops?
Because it's so familiar. And I believe the reason why it's familiar is because it's something that you've already experienced in childhood, obviously. But I think on a real tip, it is the temptation to give you the thing that you feel you lack, and then it is taken away, so you get the intermittent reinforcement. And I think that's where the chemistry comes in.
Okay, so you want to go out strong, huh?
Where am I going? I'm going out. I thought I was staying in here with y'all. What's going on?
No, but these are the type
Where
of
am I?
things that Prince meant when he sang the song, If I Were Your Girlfriend. These are the things that men want to know so that they can understand you better, right? Which sensation in your body predicts your next argument before a single word is spoken?
Yeah, it's always that sharp, dull pain in my forehead. Oh, here we go. Here we go. He finna be on some mess.
Imagine if your guy could share that pain, right? And he's like, oh, we about to argue. Never mind, I'm leaving. I'll be back. I'm going to go to the golf course, right?
I don't think he would mind it too much. He likes fighting. He's the fighting type.
Is your pursuit of safety a strategy for healing or a prison that prevents you from transformation? Is your pursuit of safety a strategy for healing or a prison that prevents transformation?
Both. If I'm pursuing safety within myself, then I think that's a lovely strategy to protect yourself. Because as long as I'm safe within, I'm safe without. But if I'm looking for it externally, not so much.
I hear you. I didn't like it. You kind of got off on it. It's cool.
You didn't catch that. It's both.
No,
it's both. You ain't gonna give me no trick question.
I caught it. I got it. I just didn't like it. I get to not like stuff. It's cool. Listen, Attila, guess what you just did, Attila?
All right, Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. Your brother Zoe Williams. I gotta land this plane. The whole show was about perspectivity, right? Right, broadening our perspective. not staying in our little box. We went on an anthropological kind of odyssey to kind of explain, what this whole topic was about. I think we misunderstand each other too much because we're so invested in being right. Right? Every conversation, man, we got to be right. Nah, it's about alignment over rightness. Love pretends to be a meeting of two people, but it is first a collision of two worlds. Every conversation, every memory, every fact you defend arrives pre-filtered through a private laboratory of genetics, culture, trauma, and language. Robert Anton Wilson called this a reality tunnel, a self-reinforcing perceptual loop so pervasive that we mistake it for the universe itself. It's not. It's just our perception. Perspectivity names the unsettling truth that no lover, no society, not even your own mind grants you an unfiltered view of reality. What you call truth is a moving hologram assembled by a nervous system desperate for coherence. Science quietly agrees. Neuroscience shows that perception operates as a prediction engine. The brain guesses what exists, then edits sensory input to match the guess. Memory reconsolidation research reveals that every recollection is a fresh construction, not a retrieval. Two honest partners can therefore recall the same night and tell incompatible but neurologically accurate stories. When both memories feel certain, the ego interprets difference as betrayal. Yet difference simply reveals the architecture of the consciousness. I just want you guys to understand there's so much more to relating than what we're currently tapping into. And I think the voice of reason is absolutely serving the purpose of broadening your perspective. You don't have to agree. Just understand, I only ask one thing. Finish the conversation. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper. Deuces!
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. The White House is